My name is Thomas DeVerney, and I'm a professor at Yeongnam University here in Korea. I've been practicing Korean traditional archery since 1993 and have made books and videos on the subject. It's a passion of mine, and I find it to be a great way to connect with Korean culture and history. I believe that it's important to pass on the traditions and techniques of Korean traditional archery to future generations. That's why I've dedicated so much time and effort to documenting and sharing what I know. Hi, let me tell you a little bit about the history of Korean traditional archery. And for this, we're going to do things more in just a general way. I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, but give you a little background about it. The bow and arrow on the Korean peninsula predate any of Korea's ancient kingdoms. A popular story Koreans like to tell is about the ancient Chinese characters to denote Korea. Dong, meaning east, and I, meaning kind of like a barbarian. The character I is composed of two characters itself. De means big, and gung means bow. So together, it was considered by Koreans to mean the eastern people of the big bow. While the horn bow is what most archers think of when talking about Korean archery, probably most bows used for hunting and by infantry archers were made of wood or bamboo. Joseon-era scholar Yu Deok-gong wrote that short bows, dangung, of the Go-Joseon era, commonly considered to be between 2333 BCE and 108 BCE, were made from birch wood. Arrows were probably mostly bamboo, but wood arrows were possibly also used. The written history of the bow on the Korean peninsula starts around the Go-Joseon era. The name most commonly associated with archery in that period was King Dongmyeong-sung, better known by his name Go-Jumong or Chumo. Jumong Chumo was Buya slang for an excellent archer. A slightly longer bow, the mekgung, was also developed during the Go-Joseon era. It is thought to have been a type of gakgung. When the Proto-Three Kingdoms of Korea began after 108 BCE, the gakgung was in use. After the Three Kingdoms began, around 57 BCE, it was an established military bow. It was longer than the dangung and mekgung. The bow was the main personal projectile weapon of Korean soldiers through the Three Kingdoms era, Goryeo era, and most of the Joseon era. The founder of Joseon, Lee Seung-gae, was considered to be a master archer. In the Imjin War, which was from 1592 to 1598, the introduction of matchlock muskets by Japan heralded a new direction in warfare. Archery and warfare was on its way out. After the Imjin War, the bow continued to be a military weapon, but its importance was limited. Mostly after that, it was used in the military civil service exam, the mukwa, and ceremonies. In 1894, it was removed from the mukwa as a military weapon. Now, about the mukwa, which was, as I said, the military civil service exam, in modern Korean traditional archery, we shoot at a 2-meter tall target at a distance of 145 meters. Now, that distance was derived from the original distance of 120 paces used in the martial archery exam, the mukwa. Although that distance is closer to 150 meters, which was the distance used before the end of World War II. During the Goryeo dynasty, which was 936 to 1392 AD, regional military officials would meet 6 times a month to practice the bow and crossbow. Targets were set up at 40 paces for the bow and 50 paces for the crossbow. The participants would shoot 10 arrows, and if they hit 5 times, they were eligible for either promotion or incumbency. During the Joseon dynasty, which was from 1392 to 1910, martial archery testing was done with different bows and arrows at various distances. Some examples of that include Shooting the Tonga Pyunjun, which was an overdraw with a short arrow, at 130 paces. Shooting the Yukyangjung, which is a heavy iron arrow, from 80 to 100 paces, and shooting the Yuyupjun, which is similar to the modern Korean traditional archery arrow, at 120 paces. Shooting a target while on horseback with a bow in a bow holster was at 35 paces.